This conference will now be recorded.
Drink it, but you have to take the tap out all the time because it'll make it flat, but
I gotta chat with you after this,
yeah.
or I can come to the group.
Congratulations.
Yes, she's an avid root beer drinker, so
Oh, well, then maybe you do have a good one, but there's not, I mean,
she'll probably.
there's not a huge difference between the prices of those, but just saying.
All right, let's make it official. Call the meeting to order. Do we have any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Nope.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion's passed. Meeting minutes from April 17th.
I'll move to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. There are no public, monthly financial reports for May.
Property tax, I assume, is on the 2 lots that the EDA owns.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I'll talk about those lots today briefly.
Okay. I'll make a motion to accept the monthly cash sheet for the month ending April 30th, 2024.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed. Public hearings, none. Old business, Part A, billboards.
Billboard, I spoke to Ken Quattray, who used to be a weatherman on KTTC, and I told Ken when I taught, I was really upset with him because he predicted a snow day. It didn't come to fruition. And he goes, that's all right. He goes, how many years ago was that? I said, 21.
Mhm.
You can still remember it.
Ish.
Yeah.
Did you know that he's married to Betsy Singer?
I did, yeah. I didn't mention that in that, but yeah. So I spoke to him, and if you can see the billboard we kind of looked at as the EDA, it's up by Cannon Falls, heading south, mainly due to the price. It was roughly $550 for 4 weeks, and he's put that on hold for us. That doesn't mean we have to purchase it by any means. But somebody owns it now until June 24th. So if we as the EDA choose to go forward with this would work out perfectly, timeline, because we could, you call tomorrow and reserve it, and then we could start working with the graphics design to lay out what we want on that sign for sure. I did talk to Ziba, and on there, they would like to have just hashtag Meet Me in Zumbrota, to kind of represent Ziba itself. So yeah, that's, they're willing to work with us anyway. If this is something you want to go through with. I think it would give Zumbrota good exposure coming out of Cannon Falls. There's a lot of cars that come south out of the cities. The ones from Rochester heading north are, a little bit more expensive and not quite as prominent as this one is. And the biggest advertiser right now is, who's the guy that's got his hands like this? Chris Lindahl. So apparently he's getting divorced and he's throwing his money at these signs so his wife won't get his money.
Oh
That's
my
what
God.
Ken Quattray told me. So it was pretty interesting to hear that because it is borderline obnoxious.
It's
There's
everywhere.
2 of them in Pine Island. Yeah. And then I came through Spring Valley yesterday. There were 3 of them just north of Spring Valley. What the hell?
It's like every half mile.
So it's almost like what's the signs going out west to
Wall Drug.
Wall Drug. He's the Wall Drug.
Wall
Yeah.
Drug.
Lost right in.
Gotta stop there, it must be good.
So the price would roughly be, I kind of factored in 16 weeks, which would be, the price is $550 for 4 weeks, and the production cost involves the graphics, like working to make up what it is we want on there. So roughly 16 weeks would be roughly $2,200 plus a $600 production cost. Round up, I would say $3,000, maybe more for having a sign for 16 weeks. Speaking to Zeba, they were the people who have had it before. Chris, for example, was very adamant about the signs are very, very good. So, and she's had it before for her business. So it's kind of like, what would you guys like to do? Want to move forward with it? That our promotion budget has roughly $7,200 in it. So this would take up half of our promotion budget. I can't tell you what else we have for, to use that money for the rest of this year, but.
So wait, how would we measure whether it's successful? Just ask the businesses if you noticed an increase in traffic or?
You know what I think I would do is I would go to, for example, a Eda Meeting, and if we voted to do it, and just see if they could tell if their business has gone up since the sign went up. Yeah, I don't know. I could do a little research on to see.
I mean, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Well,
It's kind
Kind of that way with any advertising.
Right. So I mean, if
Is 16 weeks enough? That's what, 4 months, not quite 4 months, right?
be before
busy
busy months,
A lot of traffic.
I would want to
Mhm.
try it.
Yeah, we've never tried it before.
Give her a shot. So what I think I would do is I would.
Using up all of our budget.
Right, but is I would I'd work with Ken to see what he would come up with and maybe at our June meeting, because we wouldn't be able to have it until after our June meeting anyway. I could bring back what they have, and if there's something you want in there.
Or you could send it out when you get it and
Yeah.
then we could comment on it. And
Yeah, that'd be true.
Finalize it at our next meeting.
yeah. I drew up, so we got you covered, but I was looking at billboards and all the fun ones have like something extra.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that would fit into our $600 production cost, but wouldn't it be cool if the whole sign was the bridge and the top, it came out the top
Yeah.
and then that's in the background and then we've got you covered. And then you could put Meet Me in Zumbrota and our website and the Zumbrota logo, and be very simple, just Zumbrota.
But have the actual bridge.
Yeah, as the,
I heard one time
Outline.
the best thing on a billboard is about 7 words.
yep, yeah.
So it'd be interesting.
So I was just thinking the logo and then if we use Kurt's, we've got you covered with, it's under the roof of the bridge.
And then will we still have reasons why, in
I don't think we need to
schools?
put any of that on there.
Nothing, just Zumbrota? Meet me in
And then
Zumbrota?
meet me in Zumbrota, yeah.
Oops,
Hashtag.
sorry. I go, oh, no one's gonna call me. I'm not gonna turn that down. Sorry, honey, I'm in a meeting.
I haven't probably for the last year. I did when I thought I was cool, but I'm not cool anymore.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
I never have used one. I don't know what it does.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like,
Because, all the ones I was looking at were like, they were using items. So like there was a vampire movie on a billboard and they had stakes stabbed into
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So when the sun would come, it would, it's just something to catch your eye,
always have cows. and
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
What was theirs? It was really funny. It was like something about,
The cows saying eat more chicken.
theirs was one of them that was on that, but they were just something visual to just catch your eye. Like that guy with his arms spread wide open. So it just, I don't even know what he does, but I know his name.
The realtor
Oh, it's
Jesus.
a realtor. Oh.
Were these brand new?
Yeah.
Is there a motion? Are we still discussing?
I think we moved on.
I know, that's why I'm gonna circle us back around.
I'm fine with, I'll make a motion to try it for 16 weeks. Unless Kurt can negotiate a better price or something.
Not working my magic.
Did you get that, Miranda?
Bob,
Bob, Dave?
Motion second or motion second?
Motion, second. All in favor?
Right.
Opposed? Motion's passed. The feasibility report.
Well, this is kind of I didn't put this on the city council agenda for this coming meeting. I guess I'm asking, should I put it on the agenda for the next meeting to say that we have feasibility report and we as an EDA, we're open to helping the church with something like becoming whatever they need help with in certain issues? I guess I don't know what to tell the city councils, I'm asking. Because I know in the last meeting, Brian, you said you take it to city council, say you got a feasibility report on the church, and we as EDA are not looking to make it as a EDA into a city
Right.
community center.
Yep.
But we'd be able to help if needed.
I think that's
Okay.
pretty much the way to go is if we're in agreement that the EDA isn't going to purchase it and try to run it for the city, then the recommendation from this group would be that we would not proceed with the purchase of the building, but we would be try to help in any way in the formation or organization of a nonprofit to help maintain the property. And
I think the long-term vision that some of us have is that somehow linking the bridge from here, the bridge to the church up through the, historical society and the theater and Carnegie Library and all that, how do you link that all together and build some kind of a marketing tool around that?
Right.
So if the city would agree to work on that with whomever's involved at some point would be
Almost like a historical trail.
yeah.
Maybe they should move the history center to the church. So, right.
And that isn't such a bad idea because the history center right now is handicap accessible and I don't know what it's got for bathrooms, but I've been in there for a while, but
Okay.
Do
So
you need a vote on that or just more informational that you're taking it to the council?
I think it's just information.
Okay.
Taking the count, I don't think I need a vote on that.
Did we actually do that last month?
That's what I was-
Not to proceed?
I think so.
Yeah, we already voted on the,
Not to proceed.
yeah.
Okay, and then on to new business, update on Keller Bartman building.
So I'll try to keep everybody updated on this. All that we know, the Keller Barton building is the grant has been submitted. It was submitted on time. It has not, we haven't heard anything about it since. As it, it went through public hearing and city council and everything. So if you have any questions on it, that's the extent of that I or Brian would know about it at this point. So once we hear about the grant, I'll be sure to let EDA know. But yeah, just to kind of keep you up to date.
I've got a suggestion for the city to consider that would, I think, help. I've got a few of these. I'm sorry I didn't copy them color.
Do they go as 2 pages?
Yeah.
Keep them together?
I don't know. If these are all- how many?
Or one more for me? Perfect.
If you, if you look at this, I think the first one is this kind of little square one with the, and if you look on there, you can see the boundaries of the city property where people have utilized parking, and some of it may have extended over into the bank property. But if you look at that, we've been able to get about 16 to 18 cars back there. If you go to the second page, I tried to draw out and I didn't color it, but you can kind of see where I think roughly the city property is and how they're working around it with their boundaries. And if you look at what they're proposing for parking back there, they have 9 parking spots on the left that you could say basically are going to belong to Keller Bartman. That's their property. And then there's maybe 10 to the right. They got 1 blocked off for trash. And my only concern is, we're losing a lot of parking which is going to be difficult. We have people parking on Main Street now from some of the apartments and some of the workers and so forth. It would be nice if the city could negotiate with them, let them go ahead and fix up the property if they do, and then negotiate that where that parking space is, all becomes city property. They deed that over to the city and it becomes city parking. And my concern is if the Keller Bartman says, this is our parking, nobody else can park there, or a future owner says that, we don't have 19 parking spots back there. The city has maybe 8 to 10. And that's pretty restrictive. So if they would negotiate that and let them do their work, but then negotiate to get that little strip deeded to us so it becomes city parking, at least it's open to anybody then, not just their people. So and Keller Bartman may say they'd work with us on it, but my concern is the future. If a future owner or somebody could say, that's our stuff, keep your people out of there, don't let the public park there. So just a recommendation to consider as this progresses.
So,
Can you see it?
I can, yep.
The last page is just, I think, something that was on the back of their sheet there.
So in order to have enough parking, they're using the street parking again too here.
Yeah.
Correct? Is that what they're proposing? Because they have to have so many parking spaces per unit.
I think they're pretty close on all the parking. I think it depends on how you count it.
I think they've got about 30 parking spots underneath the building.
38 or 30, oh, you're talking about underneath the building?
33.
37 or 38.
We got 33
There's
listed
38
there.
apartments, there's 33 parking stalls underneath. And then if they count, their property on the left, on
It
the alley,
was S and J when I was
they've got
growing up.
enough for one.
Which Greg's
apartment.
owned. Oh, really?
But they're gonna have to rely on city parking for more than one.
Well, but so are the business owners on Main Street are relying on city parking. So, I mean, it kind of, we all got to kind of work together on.
Well, yeah, but they're taking the parking away. If they designate that parking as their parking on their property, we're down to about 8 or 10 parking spots where we used to have more. That's all I'm saying.
Can you park overnight in front of City Hall? You can't. Can you? City Hall, the library. I know you can park during the day.
I really don't have any signs.
The lakefront parking there. I mean,
Utilize
here's kind of my data. This project is not a go unless they get the grant. And
Then we
if
can
they
think
get
about,
it.
yeah. This is
we are
a
gonna have a
very
lot of
preliminary
work
drawing.
Early to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
that's-
discussions, negotiations.
Yeah, so there's a lot of little things, but that grant's a big thing. If they don't have that grant, they're not gonna do that.
They felt pretty comfortable about it that night that they spoke.
Because it all was on points, and that's,
Yeah.
and I didn't get into the points that they said that many times.
Yeah.
We need to get as many points as we can to look the best. We look better than Wabasha, so they're trying to do the same thing as Wabasha. Which I think Wabasha's done a lot of what we've done in the standpoint of TIF and stuff like that, so.
Yeah, they bantered about this, so many parking spots per unit. What is our ordinance?
It's 2 per unit, 2 parking.
And some places have gone down to 1.5 because
Yeah.
a lot of people aren't driving 2 cars anymore. These older people get in there and then they go, we don't need 2 cars. What do we need 2 cars for?
Well, that's what their
So,
argument is.
yeah.
What is the ordinance?
Yeah.
Right.
There's 9 studios in this apartment building too, and some ordinances, you're allowed 2 spots per apartment unit, doesn't matter, studio. But if you count the studio as 1 parking unit and then the rest of the units as 2, they do have enough parking, but that's if you read it that way. So, yeah, it'll be an issue.
Yeah. Well, I hope they get the grant.
For, right now it's just kind of haphazard back there. If we lined some of the
You could maybe do that.
spaces, I think that there's going to be a better opportunity for, better parking, so it's not so haphazard too.
I was there, and, I go back there quite a bit, and I counted it Saturday, marked it off, 'cause what we could now, not to say that some of it doesn't drift over onto the bank, but,
Well, and then, I don't know if this is even feasible if we can, but the semis don't drive down that steep hill, do they?
Yeah.
They do?
yeah, they deliver to, Coffee Mill,
Okay, but they drive down that steep hill?
down or up, I think, last I saw was one that came down.
Okay, gosh, I would think it would just bend it in half. Huh, okay. Because we'd gain, if we shut that off like the other side, we'd gain parking on the street and they'd gain a whole bunch more parking at the end of that, thing. But I don't know if that's even feasible because we got to make sure the semi can get back there. So
As I said at the meetings, parking becomes a difficult thing. We're trying to keep the retail strong and the downtown area. It's kind of like if they built the apartment, let's say that they could build an apartment in the parking lot across from the Guilty Goose and took all that away.
Mhm.
What would that do to you? That's kind of what you have to think about.
Sure, but it's not, well,
Why don't they look at that spot?
it's our only city parking, like it's not for, it's not just for me, it's for
Right, it's city.
city parking. Which they said they were cleaning that today. It looks dirtier than when they started, so I'm not sure what they did. And aside, but
No, I know
I think there's ways
we're ways
to
away on this, but it's just
to think
things to
about.
keep in mind.
Mhm.
If they designate it as their parking and then they still use city parking to meet their code, that takes away from the people that have working downtown, living downtown, that's been kind of grandfathered in over the years, that's all. It is something to think about, that's all. And they're pretty convinced, they're using every square foot that they can because that's what makes it economical. And as I said at the meeting, they've got places in Red Wing, they build a lot of them. And they always have their own property for parking, not the city. That's the biggest problem I see with the whole thing, but it's workable. We can work around it, I think, somehow.
I know they're probably not going to be real excited to look at another parcel if they don't get the funding that they need, because it probably doesn't make sense to build it without a grant and TIF financing. But I've had a few people just express their ideas about other or alternative locations. And one of those is Custom Iron's yellow building by the VFW overlooking the river, but then it's going to be near the,
Floodplain.
Is it?
It might,
No, it's not. I mean, where that building is, because it's steep to the
Steep,
bank.
yeah.
well, when you look at GIS, the floodplain runs out quite a ways.
It does, but I think there'd still be enough room.
That'd be really cool.
Well, but it's going to be somewhat near the new wastewater treatment plant too, but
And looking across from the cement plate.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a big truck.
So, that isn't, and then I don't think Berg's Towing is a big enough footprint for anything like that, but that's the two that have been brought to my attention.
Yeah, it's, the way housing is going, I'm in that business, and the way it's going, especially affordable housing, we're not gonna catch up. We're gonna need more and more space.
Well, just the land costs is,
Well, there's a lot of need and just building enough, making it, especially affordable, keeping it affordable market rate, people can make it happen. Yeah, so there's gonna be issues in the future too, finding enough housing, I think. So those spaces that'd be nice quiet back there. Well, I hope they get the grant. First step, and see what happens.
Okay,
Yeah.
if there is no more discussion, we will move on to 7B. Mr. Wang.
Cow,
Lead
you bet you is, cow.
Legal Wang, I like that.
Stanley's saying, Miranda said hello on the phone and sent him back to me.
Thanks, Miranda.
But Mr. Wang, he's interested in this lot 550. It's a kind of a weird lot, so I'm sure you can see it, but EDA lot right here. And it's been for sale for $98,000 for a long time. This water treatment plant's been there for a while, and it's, like I said, it's a weird lot. But he called and is very interested in it, and he offered $82,000 to purchase it. And my question was, what are you gonna do with it? And he plans to build, you can see a 60 by 80 or a 50 by 100 foot warehouse for sale or rental space, office space, or so on. The taxes the city pays a year, because that has just been taken off the district. It was not, we were not paying taxes on it, but starting last year, we started to pay taxes on it.
TIF ran out.
Yeah, TIF right now, there we go. And you can see just that lot alone is $2,000, $2,142. So he is, I asked, because I do get people who will offer, I've had offers to pay for like half price, and then they'll market it out on it. So I haven't taken a lot of the offers seriously, but this seemed pretty serious, and it's a pretty good chunk of money as well that he's offering, and it's been for sale for a long time. The lot below it, just south of it, that does get a lot of exposure. There's a lot of looks at that. Obviously, we haven't got anybody offering money for it, but I never get looks at the 550.
What's that one listed for?
I got it written over $132,000,
And
150.
is that just like a little more than an acre, that lot?
Yeah. Oh, look right there.
Yeah, it's really in the back end, I think.
So this one is 2.8 acres. This one here is 1.5.
Which is the one that he's looking to buy?
This is one on top. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is
So,
there an easement to that?
yeah, what is
Well, I have
the,
to make one. We looked at, Kim and I actually drove what I looked at today, because they're gonna need access to this business.
Mhm.
why'd they have the road go down almost in the middle of it and not over further or something?
Because nobody's interested in a lot right now.
Where is the water and sewer run?
Down this road, I know it, there is water and sewer to these spots. I couldn't tell you where precisely, but it is there.
Let me pull it up on the staff.
The other parcel there,
Oh,
I don't have water and sewer. This is Midwest Fabrication, as you know, and I take it to that place, it's like Fort Knox. So the doors are always locked.
Kurt, there's no access from the east, is there?
From,
County Route 10
so
to the water company.
Is this north here?
That's north, yeah.
Yeah, no. There is not.
Yeah.
So it would be just this road.
And that lot above the water company, or filter company, who owns that?
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's us.
That's
There's more than outlaw there.
that's the pond, drainage pond.
Drainage fund.
So I don't know if you guys can see, the water line runs right on
On the boundary?
yeah, so it's right on the.
The
Oh,
south.
that side.
Okay.
Right here, my,
So that's not in the way at least.
No.
It's right where Kurt's got his arrow on that lot line between Midwest and,
yeah. Because then get back,
that makes sense.
Does that guy know that there's gonna be a driveway easement on that?
no, I haven't.
Because that could be, I mean, that's one reason why it hasn't been sold. I mean, why would you make a lot like that?
It has to grant an easement though.
Well, I understand, but just know that we have, he's got to grant an easement.
So the easement-
How wide is that lot, Kurt, from
Right
north to south? Do
Is
can
he?
you tell?
Wait, it sounds, they never talked about it, so that could make a difference if you're putting a big
It's
bullshit.
about 295 feet.
What about the other way, though?
Yep.
North to south?
I don't know legally how that all works, so I'm just.
Just to the road.
Okay, so if he puts
Say
a
250.
50-foot wide warehouse on there, he's got room for.
Yeah, how long from the setback, estimated setback to the road width-wise, north to south?
Oh, the setbacks on this area?
Yeah,
I can't.
Based on the building above it, doesn't look like there's.
I haven't seen anything more.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's much.
There's
No,
much at all.
that's true. Good point.
At all.
Probably only 10 feet or so.
Don't for 120 if I had the bigger lot.
Or sell this one to him, but I'd counter it. I wouldn't just give it to him for, counter it for 80, for 10,000 off 88.
I tell you what, that
And then he'll
lot,
come back to 85
I
and
think if you could sell that lot, I'd sell it. With that easement going through
Yep.
it.
but that's what I would counter it at 10,000 off at 88, and then
Yep.
maybe he'll come back for 85.
88 with, and make them aware that there's going to need to be an easement.
Gonna have to be an easement. So what I'll do is I'll email him and then I will forward his response to you guys.
Where's he from?
He's a data scientist at Mayo Clinic. And I think he's from the continent of Asia originally.
Right.
It's hard to understand, but he does, yeah, that's what he does. He buys and sells, so. All right, yeah,
I think even, just a warehouse, that size of warehouse is going to add pretty decent value to our tax base, so.
Yeah.
I'll agree with
and
Bob.
it's in
but
the
try to get it
industrial
sold.
area.
Yep.
It's not like it's right out in the front yard anywhere.
Right.
It's really tucked back. So,
Well, it might bring a new industry or something to town that, well, probably, it probably will.
well, if the filter company grows, maybe they'll need more warehouse someday.
Well, last time we had somebody interested, we asked you to reach out to them
Yeah.
to see if
They were-
they wanted to protect it, and they said nope.
Same with the Midwest Livestock. I've not offered them that lot.
Mhm.
Thought they were interested there. At that point, they weren't interested.
So on that other lot, that almost 3-acre lot.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not, because I didn't get it from the owners, so it's not like I'm breaching bank confidentiality, but Anderson Vet Service is interested in
Oh, are they? Yeah.
building something new, and they want about 3 acres. Well,
Be perfect. And this,
it's probably not 3 acres buildable because of the slope and all that, but
But what I don't think they want to build that big of a building. I think it's more for like housing cattle that need to be, you know what I mean?
okay, yep.
I would assume they
So
want.
I would just suggest just reach out to,
and sewer's out, but they don't want sewer. They want septic systems, so they're not interested.
Anderson doesn't?
Yeah. That
Okay,
was one of the things, because if you're in town, technically you need to be hooked up to the sewer.
and they
But
don't
we
want
had
to
a
do
meeting
that
with them and
because of the waste that they
Yeah.
Are
have.
they officed out of the livestock?
Right, and that must not be hooked up to city sewer.
No, because that's town, that's
That's
township.
up to, yep.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that might be the
They-
deal breaker.
Right. But I'm sure they need because they won't have the sales barn then for the pens for different,
Mhm.
they need some of that stuff.
Yep.
Is there any other discussion? Anything else you want to bring us up to date on?
that's all I got.
I see the pizza places for rent,
Mhm.
or the,
Mexican restaurant?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, no more Mexican restaurant coming?
I don't know
Nope.
what
What
happened.
happened there?
Put signs up and
Unless they wanted to
The
sell
vent,
tequila.
the vent
Well,
was,
I had somebody call a new Mexican restaurant, not the second new one, but it was a third new one.
oh,
I had him call and ask me about a liquor license a couple weeks ago.
that owner won't, he's Muslim, he won't let liquor be there.
Yeah.
that's his decision, not
Mhm.
the city.
Well,
No.
maybe, yeah, maybe he needs to change.
Well, he won't, so, yeah. That's one of the reasons we decided to buy something else when we were gonna do the other restaurant, because you can't, he wouldn't let you. So,
Admire him for sticking to his.
yeah,
Dave, just take your bottle of bourbon in there and have your taco.
Come on.
mhm. I did that once or twice at the pizza place.
Okay, we can adjourn.
Okay.
It's just,